I'm SuperShan of SuperShan's Creations, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make silly faces. No, I'm just kidding. I'm showing you how to make this beautiful comic book lamp. How pretty is that? It's super pretty and so nice. So here's what it looks like on. It's very nice with all the overlappingness. Obviously, if you didn't want it to overlap, you could just cut it properly so it didn't overlap. But I really like the patterns and I think it's really pretty. Obviously, you can hang it on one of those lights that go on the ceiling or a lamp. Either way looks really cute, I think. I don't know. I just think it looks beautiful. Okay, so here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a lampshade. This one was £1.99 from B&M Bargains. You can have any type of lampshade that you want to use. You're going to need some kind of Mod Podge or PVA glue. I use the Mod Podge for varnishing and sticking on, but you can use either. You're also going to need a brush which bristles won't fall out when you're using it, so a really sturdy one. You're also going to need one or maybe a few comics. I'm using DC's World's Finest just because it's one of my favourites and I think it will look really pretty on the lamp. You're also going to need some scissors. Okay, so let's begin. So first you need to find a picture which you like. As you can see, I've used this comic many times to make many different things, but find a picture you like. I'm going to use this one of Batman and Superman, which I'm going to show you now. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to rip around the area that I want. Careful not to rip the actual page, it just makes it easier to cut afterwards. Yep, this is me ripping. And then I'm going to get my scissors and cut around the edge very neatly. And here we have me speeded up cutting out the picture. Haha, here we are. There's the picture that I'm going to use. All you need to do is find a place to put my lamp. When you're doing your first one, it doesn't really matter where it goes. As I said before, you can use either some kind of glue or Mod Podge. I like to use Mod Podge because you can use it as a varnish as well, so it doesn't matter if you go over the top. Mod Podge was £3.60 and this glue, which is quick drying, was £2.42. There you go. But it doesn't matter, it's always up to you. So I'm going to use the Mod Podge. Okay, so what you're going to do to start with is just basically just put it on the lamp where you want the picture to go. It doesn't matter if you go around the edge because it's going to all be covered anyway. So this is a fast forward version of me putting the Mod Podge all over the lampshade. I'm also going to put the Mod Podge around the picture just so it sticks better. That way it just stays on better as well. So here we are, sticking it on and just decided where to put it. Okay, and as you can see the corners come up a little bit, so I'm trying to push it down, but the best way to do this is get the Mod Podge again because it's a varnish and go over the top, which I'm going to show you in a second. Put the Mod Podge just over the edges. It doesn't matter if it looks messy right now because it's going to dry clear and it will look fine in the end. There you are, as you can see, that's what I did. Now you're going to look for even more to put on your lampshade. Okay, so I've found from doing many of these that you've got to really pick your pictures perfectly because otherwise you might cut up something on the back which you could want. Like I'm showing you now, the picture on the front which I originally wanted is smaller than the one on the back which I'm going to use. So by checking the front and back you can make sure that you get the perfect image for you, and from then on just carry on sticking them on. As you can see with this one I'm just doing the same as I did before, putting it over the edges, making sure it's not going to fray or anything like that. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to put corner ones on, which are sometimes quite tricky. There's quite a few ways to do it, but this is just one. As you can see, there's a little flap over, which just doesn't look right. So what I do is I cut a curve into it, like so, and then you're able to stick it down with the edges being perfect. Obviously, you can cut it down if it doesn't look right, but once you've done, it should look something like that. There's a perfect edge. The bottom edges you do the same, except you cut an outwards curve just like this. And now we have a part where you're doing selfies. So beautiful. And this is me kind of fangirling over my OTP, just kind of ignore that. As I mentioned earlier, there is another way to do the corners, and that is just sticking it on like this, just so that it overlaps, and make sure that it's really stuck down and that it's dried a little bit before you do this, otherwise it might move. Then afterwards you just cut around the edge as close as you can. This kind of gives a more closer finish, as before we had kind of a gap. So as you can see, that finish is really nice and close. And then just go over with Mod Podge again. Then we are partway done, yay! Okay, so now we have me having another meltdown over my OTP. Yeah. So here's another progress shot, just showing you how far I've got. I've just got a few more gaps to go now. And here we have the lamp with all of the pictures stuck down, which I think looks pretty cool. But now it's time for the varnishing. So what I do is I use a brush, but sometimes I can use my finger because I think that it gives a more even layer. It also takes a lot less time because you can get more on your finger, and I just think it just gives an overall better look. And then once you've done this, you're pretty much done. Well, me and Focusy, a very big thank you, and let me know what you think because this is my first video. Cue the bloopers! So here we are, me being a twat as usual. This happens quite a lot, and now you're going to hear my boyfriend interrupt my starting sentence with the word syphilis. Hello!
Syphilis!
And okay, enjoy this video and stay tuned for more SuperShan creations. Haha, bye!